Hello and welcome to the 10th episode of Total Drama Multiverse. This episode will be a fun one. I do like how it's gonna go, but not really much intro here, so let's just get into the pre-challenge section. The pre-challenge doesn't really have much. I mean, we'll start with the Warped Weasels. And kind of the Rifted Ravens. Ezekiel, Toph, Luz, and Star. Luz and Star were a little weirded out on adding Ezekiel to the Cross Team Alliance. But Toph's like, we need a number now that Zeke is gone. Now that Kissy's gone. And he's cool, and they're Toph and Ezekiel are friends with each other. It is wild to me that I got interrupted not even 1 minute into the recording. Anyways, what was I saying? Zeke and Toph are friends, so Toph's able to convince Luz and Star to add him to the Cross Team Alliance. Plus, that'll be one member of the Alliance who people don't know is in the Alliance, because everybody knows Luz, Star, and Toph are friendly together. This then leads us to, well, I guess I can finish up on the Warped Weasels. In and Scary Girl are hanging out, having fun. Remember, this is platonic as crap, and has a girlfriend. And Scary Girl, Lauren's not really, I don't think she'd be romantically involved with anyone, except maybe, I did not mean to make that fall, except maybe Damien, like I did in my Reboot Season 3 prediction, but I obviously not with it. So they're just being buddies. And Marcy is kind of feeling a little left out. She's just glad, though, that her team at least respects her abilities. Finishing up with the Rifted Ravens, Applejack is used to sitting with... she sat by herself for a while, but then she started sitting with the guys. But today... the guys are not, like, Ashley comes by and nudges them to follow her, and Applejack is like, well, that can't be good. And Ashley tells Peter and Tails a secret plan. She whispers it to them. And yeah. Then Applejack sees this and wants to investigate. Then on the Crooked Crocs, Jax and Dipper are still becoming unlikely buddies, because Dipper's learning more, is like super fascinated with all the different things Jax can do, like with his tuned body. Also Fritz, not Foxy, but Fritz is hanging out with them. And they are all pretty good, on good terms together, and kind of just becoming buddies, becoming bros. And then Azuku, who normally sits by himself, now that he knows, obviously, Dipper, Monica, and Jinx weren't the kindest to him. Elmo was Elmo, and was barely even here. And then Dipper and Fritz. Fritz just kind of stopped hanging out with them, and Dipper, well, you know what happened during that reveal challenge. Anyways, he's sitting on his own when Monica comes and sits next to him, because obviously she doesn't, like, she's still chill with Jax, but even though because she was in on getting Jinx out, so she's still good with Jax, but she doesn't want to sit with all the bros, especially because then she'd be sitting with people who have actively talked bad about Azuki before, who she's trying to at least be more friendly towards, because she started to feel bad for him, which is a pretty good chain of events considering she literally snapped his neck a couple episodes ago. But you know, there's a starting point for everyone. So I think they just start talking, and they're laughing, they're just having fun. And from a couple tables down, Luz just just says to her group of four that she knew she was right about the enemies to lovers plot lines. Outside of that, there's not really much for the pre-merge. I do want to say it's kind of weird how all my pre-merges take place during like breakfast and lunch, but our challenge starts, and this is our gross out challenge of the season, y'all. It's very gross. But this challenge is called bottoms up. And this challenge is each team member must take a gulp of increasingly more disgusting drinks and swish it in their mouth for 10 seconds before spitting it into a cup. Then, one team member at the end must drink the entire cup without throwing up to advance to the next round. Nobody can be the drinker twice in a row. First team out goes to elimination, while the team who lasts the longest gets to vote one person from the team that lost to still get immunity. So let's say the Crocs lost and the Warped Weasels won. Well, these 5 would be able to vote on one of these people to get immunity at the elimination. So I thought that'd be a fun twist, since this is kind of a mix of challenges that are already a thing. So I think the drinkers, I think N, Fritz are both robots, so they'll nominate the drink first. While I think for the Rifted Ravens, I feel like she wouldn't be happy about it, but I think yeah, actually no, I think I know what would happen. I think Ashley, which by the way has stopped being as mean, or not mean, I wouldn't say mean, but stopped avoiding Applejack as much and been talking to her more. It's like, you know what, Applejack, I believe in you. I think you got this. And she's like, oh, really? I didn't expect to hear that from you. And she's like, yeah, I think you can do it. And Applejack goes up. And I will say that I do know there is one extra person on the Rifted Ravens. We can just say one person doesn't swish per thing. In fact, we can just say somebody sits out. Yeah, I'll add that to the slide when I actually film the slide. And we'll say Tails sits out. So I'm going to put Tails right here for now. So Tails is sitting out of the challenge. But anyways, our first drink is a callback to season 1 of the show with a cup of blended cockroaches. So, by the way, I did also forget to mention, if any of the people who are swishing it also throw up, then that team loses. So it goes through Peter, it goes through Ashley, it goes through Star, it goes through Luz, it goes through the other teams as well. But I only say with the Rifted Ravens in particular because for the Crooked Crocs and the Warped Weasels, N and Fritz are literally robots, so it just goes in and they don't really care, like at all. I mean, N literally drinks oil, and Fritz he doesn't even have taste buds, so yeah, they don't really care. Meanwhile, Applejack, I would say, throws up in her mouth, almost throws up, but is able to keep it in, remembering Ashley's words. So they can't go any more until everyone else is gone. So they're over at the end. They'll be the first to do the swishing. So this leads to our next round, where I think Jax will go next, just because he's used to doing insanely weird and gross stuff. For the Crooked Crocs, I think honestly, I think Luz was probably just about to volunteer anyway for the Rifted Ravens, so I think she'll go up, just because she's a bit of a weirdo. And then as for the Warped Weasels, I think Toph will... Actually, no, I think Scary Girl will volunteer to go up, one, because N did it, so she should be able to do it as well, even though he's literally a robot, but whatever. And 2, because she's kind of insane, so I don't think much will really gross her out. And then it's revealed that this is actually a bunch of old throw-up from, and this, oh my gosh, I'm just imagining this, and it's just disgusting. It's a throw-up rainbow slushy from Reboot Season 1. It's all that throw-up still, but he's been keeping it all this time. So, the robots and Applejack swish it. These 3 swish it. I think Izuku is getting close to throwing up right now. But I think these 2 are handling it fine. I think Monica, Ashley, Toph swish it. Dipper, Star, Ezekiel swish it. And it gets to these 3 who have to drink it I think Jax does it with relative ease. Actually, I think all three of these people do it with relative ease. I could even see Luz saying something about it tasting kind of good, just because 2 reasons. 1, Luz is a weirdo, but 2, Luz, rainbows. Never mind. Moving on. These will go here because our next people to go up, I think Dipper will start going on about how Izuku needs to participate and help more in the challenges. Even though, as far as he knows, him, Jax, Fritz, and Monica are just gonna vote Dipper out next, or Izuku out next. But he still wants Izuku to help more in challenges. So he starts saying that to Izuku, and Izuku's like, I don't know if that's smart because I don't think I could do it without throwing up. And he says, just don't be a wuss about it. And then Monica's volunteers, and she's like, I'll go up instead. And he's like, thanks. And she's like, yeah, it's good. Then on the Rifted Ravens, I think Spider-Man will probably he'll go, and then I think on the Warped Weasels, Zeke will probably volunteer. And for this round, I think Izuku is like on the verge of throwing up. I think Ashley, it's starting to get to Ashley, Marcy, Dipper, and Star. Toph is kind of fine though, because she can't even see it, so it's not as hard for her. And actually, did I even say what this round was? Oh, I didn't even say what this round was. This round is revealed to be horse pee. So actually, I guess Ashley would at least be used to the smell of it, so she doesn't make it as, or she doesn't think it's as hard. Also, I just remembered these 6 are still participating, but I think Jax, Fritz, Scary Girl, and Luz are all just going to be fine for most of this challenge, while Applejack, along with Ashley, is at least used to the smell of it. So I think they'll be able to prevail. And it gets to Ezekiel, Peter, and Monica, and Ezekiel and Peter swallow it while Monica swallows it and then barely doesn't. Like she pretty much is about to throw up before she freaking codes herself she codes like her body to physically not be able to, and it hurts a lot, but she is able to stop it. And that's kind of cheating, but nobody can notice really. This leads to, it has to be one of these two, one of these two, and one of these two. And Dipper's like, you know what, fine, whatever, I'll do it. And then the Rifted Ravens, I think Ashley goes up, and for the Warped Weasels, Toph goes up. And this one is revealed to be, what could I even make? What sounds disgusting? It can be, I don't even know, y'all. We can just do freaking blend it up, all the stuff in the garbage can, blend it up with some water, so it's just all the stuff in the garbage can from that hasn't been taken out because they don't have chef to do it. So it's just all the stuff from all the way from the first episode of the game show all the way till now. Everything in that garbage can all scraped into a blender with a bunch of water and then just mixed up. So it goes through everybody's mouths. Izuku again barely keeps it in. And I think Toph, Ashley good. Dipper, he struggles a lot, but I think he's good. And this leads us to the last round before everybody is able to go again. And I think this time it's revealed, because it kind of has to be Izuku, Star, and Marcy. It can't be anyone else. And I think it's revealed to be actually, I don't even think that's legal, so I'm not gonna. We'll go with it's revealed to be dog diarrhea. Which, oh my gosh, now that I'm thinking about it, this is getting absolutely disgusting. Hey, it's better than what I was originally gonna say, because I was originally gonna say diarrhea, but from the human variety. But it barely barely goes through everyone's mouth, and it gets to Izuku, Star, and Marcy, and Izuku and Star are both like struggling, and so is Marcy, and all three of them are really going, and it looks like Izuku's about to throw up, and Izuku throws up, but the camera pans, and Star is already cleaning up hers. Star threw up first, and Izuku threw up second, meaning that the Rifted Ravens lose, the Crooked Crocs come in second, and the Warped Weasels win. So the Rifted Ravens will be going to elimination, and the Warped Weasels will be able to give one of them immunity. So yeah, everybody's kind of hyped about that. Let me quickly put everyone back with their alliance members. So we can also put you in the pre-challenge, or I mean the post-challenge, sorry. Just like that, and then just like that. Okay. So, then we have, what do we have? The Crooked Crocs are kind of just, in the same, they're just kind of the same, so we don't really need to talk too much, sorry, wrong button. We don't really need to talk too much about the Crooked Crocs. Instead, we need to talk about the Warped Weasels, and that's because they need to vote on one particular person to give immunity. And I think what'll happen is in Scary Girl don't want to go with Ezekiel and Toph's plan of letting Luz or Star get the immunity, because they actually want those two to get out because of the cross-team alliance. So Marcy, seeing all this, goes and finds Ezekiel and Toph, because now she's the flip vote, and says, if y'all promise to keep me safe at the next elimination round, then I will vote one of the two with you. So before they decide on which of either Luz or Star to vote for to get immunity, we cut to the Rifted Ravens, where Ashley comes up to Applejack and is like, hey, you gotta come with me. And Ashley's like, Applejack gulps and is like, okay, and she comes begrudgingly with Ashley, and she follows her into the bunk, and their team's bunk, and she's like, surprise, and she's like, what? And Peter and Tails are like, yeah, Ashley finally forgives you. We are having the four of us just take out Luz and Star back to back. So, and Applejack's like, really? And Ashley's like, well, I wouldn't say forgive, but I care more about people who have cross-team alliances than people who betrayed me once, especially when the person that they betrayed me to get out was on said cross-team alliance. So, Applejack's like, oh, thank the Lord. I don't know if they believe in the Lord in that show, but I do not care enough to look it up. And she's like super happy, and she leaves the room. And Ashley's like, well, that went over really well. And Peter and Tails are like, yeah, it sucks that we gotta screw her over though. And Ashley's like, y'all still know the plan? And they're like, yeah. So basically, what their plan is to gain Applejack's trust. Ashley came with a better plan than Applejack had, of just using that little idol thing to save Applejack, and then hoping that nobody flips, hoping that Applejack doesn't flip after getting saved. Ashley promised her loyalty, and they know damn well that she cares about loyalty. So she pledged her loyalty to the guys, and is like, I know a way for y'all to keep y'all's hidden thing, still have a third person in me, in Ashley, and get out over the course of the next 3 eliminations, get out the other 3 members of the team. And her plan is basically she's going to pretend to forgive Applejack, and get out either lose or star. It doesn't really matter to her which one it is, but they have decided on lose first because lose um, lose is the weaker member of the team. She's not good at physical challenge. She doesn't have any powers like Star does, and she's just not as big a member of the team. And originally, Ashley thought about that, but was like, she'll just try to get herself in good with the Luz and Star, and then make other alliance members towards the merge. But after learning that they were in a cross-team alliance, she really didn't want to get to the final 5 with Luz, Star, Ezekiel, and Toph, and then just get voted off the second she doesn't get immunity. Which, when you have an Earthbender and somebody who has a literal like magic freaking wand, it's going to be pretty hard to win immunity in those challenges. So, Ashley, that's why Ashley took the deal. So, we still have the Warped Weasels, though, who at the elimination ceremony, their whole team comes over, and when asked, Ezekiel says that they've decided to vote, or that he's decided to vote for Luz. Toph says Luz, Marcy says Luz, and says I don't even know what they'd say. It doesn't really matter though. They say somebody else that wouldn't be Luz or Star. We'll say they say like, I don't know. I think they'd like Peter because spider powers. So they both give it to Peter. And the reason they decided to choose Luz over Star is actually pretty simple. They had Luz and Star do rock, paper, scissors for the immunity, which Luz and Star just thought would be a fun little thing because, as far as they know, they're not in any danger. Because even if Peter and Tails use the idol on if Tails uses his idol he can only use on other people on Applejack, they're gonna send Ashley home most likely, as far as they know. So they give their immunity to Luz, and these 4 are like, well, now what do we do? And it's like, Ashley's like, it's pretty obvious, let's just get Star out. So the 4 in a 4-2 vote with 2 votes Tails and 4 votes Star's eliminated. Now the reason these 2 vote Tails is because Ashley comes up to them right after Luz wins immunity and is like, I want to do a big move. What if the 3 of us have him use his idol on Applejack, but the 3 of us vote out Tails instead, who is completely unprotected right now. So she convinces Luz and Star, who think that's a really good plan, to vote Tails, but it doesn't matter because these 4 actually vote Star. So Star is eliminated in episode 10. She's taken to the elimination chamber, where Agent Peely is starting to panic because while yes, Star is a lot of muscle, he doesn't think that she'll want to get into this whole plan. Thankfully, Jinx and Trump have agreed to the plan. And surprisingly, Elmo's decided to help with whichever way he could. But Kissy and Star are friends, and Kissy and Green Shadow are very against the plan. And I think Kissy and Green Shadow would probably be friends at this point too. They've both gone through tragic experiences. Which, by the way, Marcy knows about Green Shadow's experiences. I probably should have mentioned that episodes ago. They're both can't speak. They're both not human. Yada yada. Anyways. Oh, and also we can say when Green Shadow got eliminated, she'll say, now my planet is doomed because of you. And her team will be like, what does that even mean? And Marcy's like, you don't even want to know. Anyways, stop giving lore to somebody who got out 3 episodes ago. Agent Peely is starting to panic because if they don't get, he's crunched the numbers. If they don't get, there's really 2 people that have to get out. And 3, sorry. There's 3 people that have to get out. And if one of them doesn't get out next, he might just be screwed. But you'll have to see if one of those 3 get out in the next episode on Wednesday. So I hope y'all enjoyed, because I know I did, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode of Total Drama Multiverse. Goodbye.